Welcome to Movement and Function. I'm Beth Wagner, physical therapist. This video is an extended version of the cervical stenosis video that I've already posted on my channel. Now, many people commented that they would have liked to see me move a little more slowly and perform more repetitions so that it would be easier to follow the movements without having to pause, rewind, and then watch the exercise again. I'm grateful for the feedback and I appreciate these recommendations. I'm happy to record and post another video demonstrating more repetitions at a slightly slower speed. Cervical stenosis refers to narrowing of the canals where the spinal cord runs inside the spinal column and where the nerves exit the sides of the spinal column. Nerves can become compressed or pinched in these tight spaces. From an exercise or movement perspective, the best thing that we can do is open these spaces as much as possible. The first thing we'll do is a posture correction. Sitting in a supportive chair with your feet flat on the surface, imagine a string coming out of the top of your head and gently pull that string up to try to get as tall as possible. Think of elongating your spine, one vertebra at a time. From here, notice what position your pelvis is resting in. Be sure that you're not tilting your pelvis too far forward or slouching back, but your pelvis should be in a neutral position. Now feel the small of your back. You should have a slight arch. Everybody's different here, but there should be just a slight natural arch in your low back. Again, you shouldn't be arched too far forward or slouched back, but somewhere right in the middle. Now, moving up the spine, relax your shoulder blades down and back and lift the front of your chest. And now from here, let's do a little bit of a cervical retraction or a chin tuck. Now, a pure cervical retraction would have us bring the chin straight back. Sometimes that's painful for people with stenosis, so it might be more comfortable to add a little bit of a nod, a little bit of cervical flexion, or bringing your chin down toward your chest as you do the posture correction. Let's move on to scapular squeeze or shoulder blade squeeze. Starting with this tall posture, squeeze your shoulder blades back and down, and then let them relax. So this movement has your shoulder blades coming together in the back and then slightly lowering them, as if you were trying to glide them down your back toward your pockets. And then let them relax. Continue squeezing back and down at a slow, smooth pace. You might also try matching your breathing pattern with the movement. Inhale through the nose first to prepare for the exercise. And then as you exhale, squeeze your shoulder blades back and down. And then inhale. Exhale, squeeze the blades back and down. Continue that pattern, inhaling first. And then exhale, squeeze back and down. If that pattern feels comfortable for you, continue. You can also adjust your inhale and your exhale as it feels most comfortable for you. The key is to pay attention to your breath, notice when you're inhaling and exhaling, and be sure not to hold your breath. Okay, so continue squeezing the blades back and down and then letting them rest. Perform 10 repetitions and then rest. Okay, the next one is thoracic extension. Now, this might seem counterintuitive that we're trying to extend our upper back when oftentimes extending the neck causes more pain when stenosis is present. What we find, however, is that the more the upper back can extend, can straighten out, it actually takes pressure off of the neck, takes pressure off of the cervical spine. When our thoracic spine is rounded down like this, it makes our head go forward. And then in order to look straight, we have to tip our head up. That results potentially in some pinching or compression of the nerves in the cervical spine. So the more flexibility and the more ability we have to straighten through the upper back, then the more open these spaces are in the cervical spine. Okay, so for thoracic extension, Start in tall posture. Bring your hands up just behind your neck so that the edge of your pinkies is at the base of your skull, right at the occiput. You can have your elbows forward, out at an angle, or out at the side, whatever's most comfortable for you. Now, lifting gently up with your hands in this type of a motion, we're going to provide a little bit of traction on the neck by pulling up. This should be gentle. Be sure to keep this gentle. Okay, with that little bit of traction on the neck. Now bring your elbows up toward the ceiling. Look up toward the ceiling as you bend or arch your upper back. And pause, and then come back to the starting position. Keep this motion small and slow, especially when you first start, until you really get a feel for it. Everybody's different. Some people have a lot of stiffness in their upper back, and you might not be able to move very much in this exercise. That's just fine. See what you can do. Gradually progress as you're able. This exercise should not cause any increase in your symptoms. If you feel sharp shooting pain or any numbness and tingling down your arms, then stop right away. Stretch discomfort and a little bit of muscle ache would be normal with this exercise. Okay, let me show you again. So I'll place my hands one on top of the other with the edge of my pinky right at the base of my skull. My elbows forward at a comfortable angle. And now I'll look up, bring my elbows up, and bend through the upper back, and I'm supporting my neck. Pause, and then come back to the starting position so that you're looking forward. Now, if that's uncomfortable, you might also try tucking your chin a little bit. Bring your chin down toward your chest, and then repeat. Look up toward the ceiling, bring your elbows up toward the ceiling, and try extending through the upper spine. And come back to the center. Also, pattern your breath with this movement by inhaling to prepare, and then exhale as you extend back. And inhale in the starting position, and exhale as you lift your elbows up toward the ceiling and come back to the starting position. Okay, perform 10 repetitions or as many as you feel comfortable doing. Start with what feels best for you. Gradually add more repetitions as you can. Next is a doorway pec stretch. This exercise can be done in a doorway, as I will show you here with an image on the screen, or just sitting like I am here. Start with tall posture. Lift one arm up so that your elbow is just about at shoulder height. And now if you're sitting, as I am in this position, try to bring the back of your hand and elbow behind you. Try to move them back toward the wall behind you. Hold the stretch for between 5 and 30 seconds. If you start to feel any numbness, tingling, pins and needles, pain, etc., running down your hand, then lower your arm right away, rest, shake it out, and try again. Okay, so let's look at that again. With tall posture, lift the arm up so the elbow is at about shoulder height, and press the back of the hand and back of the arm toward the wall behind you. Pause, continue breathing. Hold as long as it feels comfortable for you. About 5 to 30 seconds is a great goal. And then bring your arm forward again and lower and rest. Now let's repeat on the other side. Lift your left arm up with your elbow at about shoulder height. Tall posture. Press the back of your hand and back of your arm toward the wall behind you. Pause. Hold for 5 to 30 seconds. And then bring your arm back to the starting position and lower your arm. And repeat. Lift the left arm up. Press the back of the hand and back of the arm toward the wall behind you. Pause, continue breathing, and then bring the hand back and lower it. Perform 3 repetitions on each side. I recommend alternating, performing this on one arm and then lower, and switching arms. That's a nice way to even out the stretch from one side to the other, and it also gives one arm a little bit of a break while you're performing the stretch on the other side. Now, if you're performing this in the doorway, the only difference is once you've started with tall posture and lifted your arm up, instead of pressing your arm back, take a step forward through the doorway. The doorway will hold your arm in place, and you'll feel that nice stretch to the front of the chest and front of the shoulder and arm. After the 5 to 30 seconds, then step back with the foot that was forward, lower the arm, and repeat on the other side. Lift the arm up and step forward with the left foot until you feel a comfortable stretch through the left chest and shoulder area. Hold for about 5 to 30 seconds, and then step back and lower the arm. The next 3 exercises are movements of the cervical spine. With all 3 of these neck motion exercises, remember the imaginary string that was attached to the top of your head that was helping to pull your head up and elongate your spine. Imagine that string is continuing to elongate your neck as you do these exercises, so that your neck is moving up and away from your shoulders as it bends in different directions. That can be very helpful to decrease any compression or pinching of the nerves that might occur with these movements. The first movement is side bending. Starting with tall posture, little bit of a chin tuck, and lowering your chin a little bit down towards your chest. Tilt your head over to one side, lowering your ear toward the shoulder. Be sure that you're not lifting your shoulder toward the ear. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Pause and continue breathing. Hold this position for just a couple of seconds and return to the starting position. Now repeat on the other side. Tall posture, little bit of a chin tuck, and tip your ear over toward your shoulder. Only go as far as you feel comfortable, and only hold the stretch for a few seconds, as much as you feel comfortable with. And come back up. Now, this shouldn't provoke any of your symptoms. You should feel a gentle stretch on the side of the neck, away from the direction you're moving. So when I tip my head to the right, I feel a stretch through this part on the left side of my neck. And when I tip my head to the left, I feel a stretch through the right side of my neck. The specific spot where a stretch is felt may vary from person to person. But the general idea of this is to feel a stretch on the opposite side of the neck than the direction that you're moving. Continue alternating the right side bend with the left side bend for 5 repetitions, or as many as you feel comfortable with. Start with what you can do and gradually work up. Next is rotation. Starting with tall posture, again, a little bit of a chin tuck. Turn your head to look over your right shoulder. Go as far as you feel comfortable, pause, and then come back to the center and keep going over to the left. Pause at the end of your range of motion and return to the center. Similar to the other exercises, be sure that you are not lifting your shoulders or rolling your shoulders forward. Keep your shoulders relaxed, away from your ears, down and away from your ears. Okay, again, perform a little bit of a chin tuck. Turn the head to the right, look to the right as far as it feels comfortable. Pause and come back to the center and repeat on the left. Go as far as you feel comfortable, pause, and come back to the center. This motion should be slow and smooth, with control as you turn your head and as you come back to the center. Even as you build up repetition with this exercise and feel better, still keep this motion slow. You'll likely feel a stretch on both sides of your neck, and depending on where you have the most tightness in your neck. Okay, perform 5 repetitions of rotation. The last exercise is flexion. This tends to be the most comfortable movement and actually a position of relief for people with stenosis. And it's a great way to finish these exercises, just in case one of the movements has been slightly irritating or aggravating for your neck. Finishing with flexion is a nice way to relieve that irritation. Starting with tall posture, bring your chin in towards your chest and then lower your head so you're looking down. Pause here. And now let's hold this position for 5 to 10 seconds. And when you're ready, come back up to the starting position where you're looking straight forward. Again, this is a position of relief for most people, so feel free to hold this for 5, 10 seconds, maybe even longer. Again, tip your chin down, look down, and bend your head so you're looking toward the floor. Pause. Hold for as long as it feels comfortable, and come back up to the starting position. Tuck your chin and lower your head. Look down toward the floor and bend your head forward. Again, thinking of getting as much space in your spine as possible. And come back up and pause. We can pattern our breath with these movements as well by inhaling before we start. Inhale through the nose, and then exhale as you lower your head. Inhale again. Think of elongating your spine on the inhale, and then exhale. Let your breath release and let any pain or other symptoms go. And then inhale, come back up to the starting position. Again, tuck your chin down towards your chest. Release any tension or tightness or pain. And then inhale through the nose as you come back up to the starting position. I recommend starting with 1 set of all of these exercises daily. If that feels good for you and you want to try a little more, add a second set. It could be done at the same time as the first set or another time of day. See what feels best for you. Listen to your body. Modify these exercises by decreasing the repetitions and the range of motion and speed of motion as it feels comfortable for you. You can also progress these exercises by moving a little farther into the range of motion as you're able to do so. There's no right or wrong here. Listen to your body and do what feels best. Leave any questions or comments down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I'm able. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope these exercises help relieve your pain and other symptoms of cervical stenosis, and ultimately help you do the things you love to do every single day. Here's to your healing, health, and happiness. Have a fantastic day.